At ValorTech, a leading tech giant in San Francisco, success was everything. Deals were struck in corner offices with views of the city, and every employee moved with purpose, especially the higher-ups. Beneath this, in the shadows, was Maggie, the new cleaner on staff, whose every step went unnoticed by almost everyone. But Maggie was more than she seemed. She was actually Maggie Dawson, the true founder and CEO of ValorTech. Years ago, she stepped back from her role, allowing her younger brother, Peter, to assume the CEO title. Maggie had built this company from the ground up, but lately rumors of corruption and a toxic work environment had reached her. She wanted to see for herself how her company was really being run, and to find out who was undermining her vision of a place where all employees, regardless of role or background, were respected. On her first day, Maggie quietly pushed her cart down ValorTech's polished halls, her eyes and ears open. It wasn't long before she began noticing subtle, disturbing remarks directed toward her by the higher-ups. People would sneer, dismiss her with a quick flick of the eyes, or even whisper to each other after she walked by. The worst of them was Ryan Blackwood, the CFO and close friend of her brother. Ryan was tall, sharp-suited, and arrogant, and he was notorious for his treatment of those he viewed as inferior. He rarely interacted with people of color at the company, except to make veiled, uncomfortable comments that made them feel unwelcome. He dismissed Maggie with an offhand sneer, making remarks like, "We need to get better staff in here, someone more suited to a place like ValorTech." One afternoon, Maggie was wiping down a conference room table when Ryan strode in. Barely glancing her way, he muttered under his breath, "This place really needs a higher class of help. You'd think a company of this stature would hire more professional cleaners." His tone was dripping with disdain, and Maggie caught the edge in his voice, the kind of condescension reserved for people he viewed as outsiders. Maggie swallowed her anger and continued her work, noting each slight with quiet resolve. As the days passed, Ryan's behavior grew worse. He would laugh with colleagues about diversity hires, openly expressing that true talent belonged to those who fit the image of the company. Maggie was horrified. She had built ValorTech with a vision of inclusivity and respect, but Ryan's twisted attitude had poisoned the workplace culture. The breaking point came when Ryan, smirking, made a particularly nasty remark to Maggie in front of a group of junior employees. You should feel lucky to have a job here," he said in a mocking tone. "Not everyone is cut out for tech, especially people like you." Maggie forced herself to smile, masking her true feelings. But inside, she knew it was time to reveal her identity. She had seen enough. The next morning, Maggie arrived at ValorTech in a crisp, tailored suit. She looked every bit the powerful executive she was. The employees gawked as she made her way to the main conference room, where Peter had called an emergency meeting. Ryan and the other managers sat around the table, whispering to one another in confusion. Peter began the meeting with a solemn tone. "Today I have someone very important to introduce," he said, motioning toward his sister. "This is Maggie Dawson, the true founder and CEO of ValorTech." Ryan's face went pale. His eyes widened in horror as he recognized the cleaner he had spent weeks belittling. Maggie took her place at the head of the table, locking eyes with him. "For the past few months," she began, "I've observed how this company is run, from the ground up. I wanted to understand what our employees experience every day, regardless of their background or appearance. And what I found was disturbing." Maggie turned to Ryan, her gaze steady. "Mr. Blackwood, you fostered a toxic environment here, filled with prejudice, discrimination, and harassment. You failed to uphold the values of this company and have made people feel unwelcome, myself included." Ryan stammered, his voice faltering. Ms. Dawson, I had no idea. If I'd known—" "That's exactly the problem," she interrupted. "You saw me as beneath you, and you treated others the same. ValorTech was built on respect, on opportunity for everyone. You don't belong in a place that stands for those things." Maggie nodded, and security escorted a stunned Ryan out. She addressed the remaining employees with a tone of hope. "To those of you who have acted with respect and kindness, you have my gratitude. We're rebuilding ValorTech from this day forward to make it a place where every voice matters." ValorTech transformed, becoming known as a beacon of inclusivity and respect. Employees of every background looked up to Maggie as a leader who not only listened, but cared. Maggie's story became a powerful lesson that respect, kindness, and integrity are the true strengths of any successful company. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring content. Remember to treat everyone with respect and kindness, as we never know who might be shaping the future.